Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for a TV series review. I am Skyping with my sister Lonnie. Hey Lon, how you doing?
Hello.
So tell
Good.
everyone, what is one of the best shows that you've watched recently?
The best shows. We just started Unbelievable, so we're watching
That was supposed to be a
Unbelievable.
very easy tee up to talk about the show that we're about to discuss.
Oh, okay. Oops. Love is
All right,
Blind.
there you go. Because, I wasn't going to watch this, but then I heard a whole bunch of people out there were loving it, and you were one of them. So,
Yes, I love that show. I watched it in 3 days.
but Unbelievable, I hear, is great too. Maybe it's about time I finally
Yeah,
binge
that's what I'm
watch that.
watching now.
Oh, I'm so jealous of your coffee right now. I have to go down and get some soon.
Made it this
So,
morning.
for everybody who doesn't know what Love is Blind is, it's a new Netflix reality show, and the whole premise is answering the question, is love blind? All the contestants start out by talking to each other in these pods where they can't see each other. They can only communicate. So then by the end of the pod experience, they have to decide whether or not they're going to marry one of the people that they've been talking to without being able to see them, therefore proving that you don't need to see someone to fall in love with them. You could fall in love with who they are and their soul and what they say in the pods and all that. So first thing we're going to do is do a completely non-spoiler review right now. So Lonnie, don't reveal
Oh,
anything that
crap.
happens
This
in
is
it.
going to
But
be hard for me.
what was it about Love is Blind that made you love it so much?
I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, the couples are very, very real. And like the issues between them, I think, are very, very real. I enjoyed the show more after the pod
Okay.
when you actually got to see them interact. So I just thought it was very relatable, even though it's like a ridiculous plot.
I do wonder if that's something that they're going to work on in future seasons, because I think that might come down to the way that they have to film it, because you have to get super creative with something like that, because obviously it's much more stimulating watching two people
Mm-hmm.
potentially falling in love face to face than it is watching them with a wall in between them. So
Yeah,
that is something that could improve. And I think that part of the show worked well enough, but I would have to agree with that. I think I preferred the latter half as well. Also,
yeah.
you got to
It's
know
just,
them more too.
yeah, and you got to just see them interact, and I just enjoyed that part more. I liked the pods, I just didn't love the pods.
What did you think about how many episodes we got? Because what was the total count? Was it 10 plus the reunion?
Yeah, but I didn't really like the reunion. I thought it was kind of boring, and
So
nothing really like interesting happened because Instagram spoiled most of it anyways.
that's
Or I
fair.
don't know. I didn't like the reunion. I thought it was very like not dramatic.
I I would agree with that. There were certain conversations that we'll get into in the spoiler section that I was really looking forward to hearing that we did get to hear. I also think that the reunion was it was kind of edited poorly, and I understand that it's tough when you have so many people on the stage, but I could feel them like fishing for the sound bites and cutting people off, and it didn't make it feel fluid to
Yeah.
me. Yeah, so that's probably my big criticism. You see Dewey over there.
No,
He's
you hear
walking on a
Robbie?
he's walking on a table. No. But overall, I still really enjoyed the experience, and I really want a season two.
Well, I thought there were enough episodes too.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we were fine with the amount of episodes that there were. And then it kind of felt like towards the end when they were like deciding whether they were going to get married, we were like ready for that episode.
Yeah. No, I would say the same. And I liked how they separated the weddings, like how much time they gave each one. I thought all of that worked well. And, with what I said about the reunion show, I would say the show itself is incredibly well edited. Because I can't even imagine all the footage that winds up on those editors' laps. But I thought the whole thing played super well. And
Yeah.
it was really engaging and exciting and riveting, and it's probably a good thing to reinforce what you just said too about the Instagram thing, because that is a real thing. Because we saw what happened with some of the folks who were on Cheer. They become Instagram stars after they go on these shows. So the answer to is love blind for them has been answered on their Instagram. So if you're just starting the show now, do not go over to their Instagrams until
Yeah.
you're done, or you will reveal the answers.
Well, it's all pictures. If
Yeah.
they like ended up with each other, it's like pictures.
Yeah. All right. I have to talk about spoilers with you, but first, before we do that, Lon, we rate everything on the channel out of Deweys. So you have,
Dewey, yeah.
you got
Duh.
to pick. You know your stuff. So how many Deweys would you give Love Is Blind
Out of 10.
out of 5? And you could go half Deweys too. I have I have half Deweys.
3.5 Deweys.
Three.
I loved it.
Oh,
I thought it
wow.
was great. I would recommend it to anyone else. But I watch a ton of reality television. And for me, I would give shows like Vanderpump Rules, Siesta Key, things like that 5 Deweys. So I have to like base it off of other things that I would give 5 Deweys. So I would say 3.5 Deweys, maybe 4.
All right. No, that's fair. I mean, that shows like the two very different perspectives we're coming at this with, because I don't watch that much reality TV, and I don't watch things like The Bachelor either, which is why I assumed I was not going to like this. But I really did like it, and I don't know. I guess if I would compare it to one of the more recent Netflix series that I watched and say Cheer for me is like a 4.5. I think that was really, really well crafted. This has a little more work that they need to do on the structure of the show, but I think it's a brilliant premise. They found some great subjects that now I do follow on Instagram, and I'm fascinated by them all. And I don't know, I just really appreciate the nature behind the whole idea behind the experiment. So I will go for 4 out of 5 Deweys on the Dewey Decimal Movie scale. All right, the time has come. We're going to talk spoilers. So for everyone who has not watched Love is Blind, goodbye. It's happening right now. We're going to reveal all the details. You ready? I'm
ready.
I feel like we should go couple by couple. That's the only way to neatly do this.
Okay.
So you pick the first couple. Who do you want to talk about first?
Well, you do know that there were 2 other couples that matched too, that they don't even...
What?
You didn't know that, Per?
What? I didn't do any research.
I read that I think there were 2 other couples that matched and like did the whole like vacation thing after, but they didn't have, I thought it was like they didn't have enough money to follow those 2 couples around.
Oh my God.
But they don't, I think I'm right. I don't know. I read it somewhere.
I'm going to research that after this. Holy shit, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. And then they wound up with Diamond and Carlton wasting space.
I know.
Yeah, they upset me. That whole conversation upset me. I don't know.
Well, they seemed to get along well after the reunion, so.
I guess so. I appreciated
if that was real.
I appreciated the apology that happened. And I would hope, I know what they say about reality shows. I hope that it was real also, but even just having that form of apology on display for people to see, I think can only inspire people out there to do the same thing. So it's good. But
yeah,
that is great. You just blew my mind. I can't wait to go research that.
I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
Who was your favorite couple of the bunch?
I loved Amber and Barnett. I do feel like they're in love and everything, and I really liked her. She annoyed me in the beginning, and I found her to be like very funny towards the end. And he was like kind of annoying in the beginning with how indecisive he was too. So I'm like happy that he chose her, and they're still together, and they seem happy.
Yeah. It was crazy how much they transformed throughout the season as you got to know them. Because, like, I had that kind of I wasn't really her biggest fan. And I thought I liked Jessica at the beginning, and then I didn't really like Jessica all that much. She
was cool in the pod.
Yeah, she was.
She was like a cool girl that you wanted to date, and then she was crazy.
I hear Robbie. So, Mark was the nicest guy in the world, and she was so terrible to him. Like, I understand that she apologized on the reunion show, but then I went back and I was watching the beginning of their wedding section, and even just with how she carried herself with being so happy, I
thought she was going to get married.
Was she just lying? I don't get it.
Mark, like, I feel bad saying this, but he's kind of like a loser.
No, he's just...
I don't know. Okay. He's just like, I don't know. He comes off to me like desperate, and like, she like literally at one point when they came back from their drunk night, she like turned to him and was like, Barnett is so hot. And he still stayed with her.
I understand where the thought comes from. On the one hand, I admire his dedication. Maybe that's where his youth shows, that he got so infatuated by her that he kept pushing and pushing and pushing, even though all the red flags were right there. But I don't know. I found his big heart very charming, and I felt really, really bad for him that she kept walking all over him.
No, I feel bad too.
It was really,
really
bothering me.
I did hear some other gossipy thing that he was like dating someone right before the show and just broke up with them to be on the show.
Wow.
So it made me feel less
Okay.
bad.
Wow, you have all the gossip. I don't know if any of this gossip is true,
I
but I
sit,
like
yeah,
that you
but
know
during
it.
these shows, I sit and I Google and I look on Instagram for everything because people post stuff.
Yeah. Who do you think my favorite couple was?
So that's a hard question. And it's none that we just discussed.
That's all right. That gives you a little advantage here.
I mean, I loved Cameron and Lauren.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite?
I was very
Or
into
Damien? Whatever his name
Damien and G.
Yeah.
I actually was really liking Kenny and Kelly for a while just because
Okay, I forgot about Kenny
I
and
mean,
Kelly.
they so quickly seemed so perfect, and that was such like a late game curveball that they threw with her. But like I understood
Yeah.
what happened with them, but when I kind of veered away from them being my favorite, like Lauren and Cameron were just the greatest. And that was
No,
probably
they were like perfect
that was
together.
like one of the arcs that made me tear up the most throughout. It's like when her dad showed up at the wedding, I like I got so like teary-eyed.
Well, at the beginning too, they made Cameron seem like he was so infatuated with her and everything that it was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to work. But then I think as the show went on, you got to see like why they're a good couple.
Yeah. And they were really good.
And
And I
she's
loved
just
watching.
so cool.
Yeah. No, really. And
Just very cool.
like she's smart and she's funny. I don't know. I'm like so happy for them. And I'm very happy for Amber and Barnett too, because they both grew on me quite a bit. Quite a bit. So we haven't really talked about Damien and Jay. That was hands down the most shocking wedding thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was like wild to me. I liked G, but I also felt like she was a little bit more acting throughout the show. I mean, some of like there was like a one line that she said when they like
She had a lot
after
of
their
lines.
wedding, after they were broken up, and she was like, and I don't even know the expression, but it was like, and the phoenix rises from the ash.
She says it at the very end of the show.
Who said that in like the national dialogue?
I liked her a lot
like,
at the beginning.
Like, acted a little.
It felt more genuine at the beginning.
Yeah, it felt more genuine at the beginning. But I could see how they're still together now because I do think they balance each other out. She's like very eccentric, loud, out there, and he's kind of more
chill.
grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how they're still together, but like I felt like she was a little fake.
All right. No, I get that. And, like she was kind of young too. So maybe it's just, it's growing up. And it's also, I kept trying to keep in mind, how much footage they must have shot over the course of, that amount of time and the way it all gets stitched together and what they pick and choose. So I don't know. I'm trying super hard not to overjudge these people as human beings because a lot of this is completely out of their control. But then again, they choose how to behave in certain moments. But I don't know. I was very happy when the reunion show came on because I hadn't looked that up and they were back together. That made me happy.
But I really liked Kenny though. I can't remember Kenny and Kelly.
Yeah.
I really, really liked him. Like I thought he was like very nice and everything. And I died when her mom was like, when he spoke. Remember, she was like, he's such a nice guy.
Because he is. He's like the definition of a nice guy. And that was another reunion thing. I was glad to hear that like he's doing okay now. But
well, and you could tell that she kind of not regrets her decision, but she definitely seemed like less. That's definitely what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I thought that she seemed a little, like in the moment she definitely seemed like she wanted to not say I do, but in the reunion I feel like, I don't know. Like I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Because he's so perfect. And especially that's one of those things because in the reunion they had watched the entire show. So it's like I wonder if someone in her position then watched the entire show and saw his behavior from afar and was like, oh, shit, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, because also like when their families met, it just seems like it vibed. Everyone was on the same page. And then, nope. But I will tell you, so Matt, my husband, when he watched it, he was dying with Jessica. Every single time she came on, bless you, Robbie. Every single time she came on, he was like, we were dying. She drank so much.
I know.
Too. Like, it was bad.
She drank a lot.
And I mean, she wouldn't stop talking about her age. And it just goes to show when you bring attention to something over and over again, then it gets fixated in people's minds. Because she doesn't, like, I didn't even think of her as being that much older than him.
No, neither did I really. I understand that crossing her mind, but I didn't quite get why she harped on it so much. And, that was another thing where I was trying to wonder about the editing also, because it was a similar thing with Cameron and Lauren, and they even mentioned that in the reunion show, how many times that they were an interracial couple. And, when you think about them interacting for however many weeks, that could come up, I don't know, like twice a week, and all of a sudden it could feel like that's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm analyzing how the show's made.
That's what the show's supposed to be about too. Like the fact that like when you fall in love with someone through a pod. Oh yeah, Robbie's making funny noises. When you fall in love with someone through pods, like how things like age don't seem as big of a factor when you're just having a conversation, or something like race isn't as big a factor, and then it's like how you work with those two things in real life. So I felt like they tried to purposely pick on those things more.
As the only married person in this chat, does that whole process seem like ridiculous and not possible to you, or can you understand how someone could wind up saying I do through that kind of thing?
I would never do it. There's too much anxiety for that shit.
It's understandable.
I can never do it. No, but I mean, that's why I watch reality TV shows and dating shows, because I do think it's possible. Like, look, three, if you count G and Damon, are dating in relationships and say that they're in love. So I think it's possible. And like me and Nat started off as friends before anything. So I feel like it makes sense, and I think it's real, and I believe in shows like that.
Oh, I like that.
And that's kind of well, I guess like when you're dating online, you like all you see is like a picture of someone, but it's kind of similar too.
No,
like if you're chatting with someone online, like you can tell if you're having a good conversation or it flows before you make an in-person date. Like maybe the love part, right? Maybe like after 4 weeks to be like I'm in love with someone is hard to tell. Yeah. But I do think you know if you're connecting with someone through a pod.
All right. I like that assessment.
If I was married, I would definitely audition for Love is Blind 2.
Well, I guess, what do they do it by city? They would have to move to Manhattan for you.
Yeah, wait. That took me a while to figure out. Like, I remember watching it, and I'm like, how are they all going to come back from these vacations?
I thought that too.
And then I'm like, they're all in the same state, and they're all in the same city.
Yeah, because like you don't actually know that until they leave the vacation. And they all go back to, like, and even when they were all going back to Atlanta, I thought, oh, like, maybe it's a real world house type situation where Netflix just bought out a house. But then, you quickly come to realize that is the city that they all call home. I really want a season 2, though.
There definitely is going to be a season 2. I guess we have to wait till this.
I know. With how huge it is, they have to.
Well, I guess they could still do the pods, though, because that's like social distancing and 6 feet apart.
Oh. Well, given the fact that we're going to have so much time home sweet home, I hope you'll come back on the channel and review something again with me soon. I'll let you pick, okay?
Robbie wants to say hello.
Do you want her to say hello?
Yeah, she can say hello.
Oh, my God. Hi, Robbie. Hi.
You see Angie? See?
I miss you. She's
fascinated by the computer.
She looks thrilled right now. All right, guys, we're taking off. We're going back to that home life, but we're gonna have another. We'll just like call this sister reviews. We'll have another sister review for you real soon. Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye, guys.